Our next speaker, Dr. Phil Tompkins, brings more than 25 years of leadership in higher education. He serves as the Dean for the Division of Student Affairs at Touro University, where he oversees the full student experience, including admissions, financial aid, registrar, bursar, student conduct, counseling, student health, testing, and engagement. He also teaches in the School of Education and has shaped Touro's approach to developing the next generation of healthcare professionals. So the preface of everything that I shared was that we are working to make your job easier, okay? So we expect a great presentation, but without further ado, it will be great. So I would like to welcome to the stage today Dr. Phil Tompkins. If we can get a round of applause welcoming him.
Diego,
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much. That in there. Yep. This one here. Well, good morning, everybody. That's right. That's right. Well, good morning. It's really great to be here. Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Steve. It's wonderful to be here with you all today and be able to share a little bit about what we're doing at Touro University. You know, as I was thinking about today and just thinking about the work that you all do in really elevating healthcare in the Valley and being really a force for good, it kind of occurred to me that I feel like Las Vegas Heals and Touro, Nevada are really kindred spirits in that we are really trying to kind of help to positively impact healthcare in the Valley. And so as I was kind of preparing today, I kind of was reflecting on kind of a personal anecdote I wanted to share. And that is that, so I'm not a physician by training. I got my doctorate in education, and I worked at Touro for about 12 years, as Diego has shared. And so I'm also a dad. And so one of the first times I took my daughter, she's about 5 years old, to Touro, I was going by the office to pick up some things and kind of just walking down the hallway with her. And I noticed, you know, the students and the faculty, they're all very friendly. They're like, "Hi, Dr. Tompkins," you know, and the faculty are like, "Hi, Dr. Phil." And, you know, so as we were kind of going and we leave, we get in the car, we start driving, and I could tell my 5-year-old was deep in thought. And so I was very much like, you know, kind of wondering what she was thinking about. She goes, "Dad, I didn't know you were a doctor." And so I said, okay, so I started thinking about it. Well, honey, I'm not a physician. I don't treat people when they're sick and help to make them be better and the whatnot. You know, I have a doctoral degree, and when I go to school and work, they call me doctor as a result. And so you with a 5-year-old, you never know if it kind of really kind of sets in and they really understand. So fast forward about 5 months later, my daughter's not well. She's sick. We decided to kind of keep her home from school. And so she's in bed. I walk into her room. I've got some medicine. I'm going to give it to her. And she's like, "Daddy," and she's kind of all dramatic. She's like, "Daddy, you know, I don't know if that's going to help. I need the kind of doctor that helps people." And so I was just like, okay, the message stuck. She got it. So, you know, with that, it's my way of saying, you know, I am grateful for the work that you all do in the healthcare community. I am grateful for kind of the impact that you all make for not only kind of us as a society, but for my family, for my daughter, obviously, as we kind of move forward. So, as Diego mentioned, my job here today is to talk to you a little bit about Touro, Nevada, and to talk to you about kind of what we're working to do to shape healthcare here in Southern Nevada. And as he mentioned, you know, our mission is really to kind of help to kind of shape the next generation and to help to address the shortage that he referenced through all the great work that you all are doing as an organization. We opened our doors in 2004 and started out with 84 osteopathic medical students. And in doing that, we have kind of over the last 20 years grown to where now we admit around 160 to 180 medical students each year. We have students in physical therapy. We have students that are physician assistants, students that become nurses at all different levels, occupational therapists, and also School of Education. And so with that, we are kind of really working to kind of live out kind of our mission. And it's rooted in kind of these Judaic principles of service and really kind of the ability to kind of expand kind of learning as a whole. And so with that, we have 13 programs at Touro, Nevada, across the program, across the professions that I just discussed. We have over 1,400 students. You can see on the screen, we have 378 students, and we are part of a larger system The Touro University system, actually, we are just one campus of about 19 different colleges across the country internationally. And so actually, Touro, Nevada, our medical school is one of 5 medical schools in the Touro system. And so with that, we are actually the 3rd largest provider of kind of training physicians of any medical school system in the country, only behind the UC system and then the University of Texas system. So we are really committed to physician education and as well as educating across the healthcare spectrum of professions. So a little bit about us that you may or may not know. In addition to our mission from an educational perspective, we also do a ton of outreach in the community. We have a homeless mission that goes out in the community and provides free healthcare with our students and our providers. We have our Pierce Center for Autism and Developmental Disabilities that works to actively treat children with autism and other developmental disorders that we meet with. Every day we have appointments with children on our campus in the center. We have a clinic that we have sponsored at the Shade Tree, where we go on a monthly basis and provide health care to the residents at Shade Tree. And then we do continuing medical education across each of our professions: occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant studies, nursing, and osteopathic medicine. So in addition to that, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a few moments, we also have the Tang Center for Simulation. We are actually the only accredited simulation center, or we actually were the first accredited, I should say, simulation center, the only graduate level simulation center in the country. And we've started partnering with lots of different organizations across the valley and even outside of Southern Nevada to offer our simulation services. So it's not only for our students, but it's also for other parts of the healthcare workforce. So I think when we talk about Touro, I think we're a lot of what we like to say we're a legacy of firsts. You know, not only did we start out with the osteopathic medical program, our physician program, and kind of being the first osteopathic medicine program here in the Valley, but then we also had the first physician assistant studies program in Nevada, first doctor of nursing practice, first occupational therapy, and of course, as I mentioned, the first accredited SIM center. You can also see on there, as Diego mentioned, Shelley Berkeley was our CEO for almost a decade before she went on to be mayor of this great city. Okay, so our programs. We are divided into 2 colleges. We have the College of Osteopathic Medicine, which has 2 degrees, our DO program, as well as our Medical Health Sciences program. So our Medical Health Sciences program is actually a bridge program. It's another way that we're trying to help folks that either are wanting to have a second career in medicine, or that possibly with their undergraduate degree didn't get all the courses they would need to get into medical school or PA school or PT or OT school. And so they can come take courses that will help prepare them and help them kind of gain a pathway into one of our other health science programs. You can see with our College of Health and Human Services, you see the different degrees up there. We offer not only a physician assistant program master's degree, but then also a physician associate program, which is a doctoral degree. We have our doctorate in physical therapy, our doctorate in occupational therapy, and then we offer an RN to BSN program in nursing, as well as a master's in nursing program, as well as a doctorate in nursing program. And then we also have our School of Education, which offers master's and educational doctorate degrees. Okay, so our campus, just to tell you kind of a little bit about kind of what I think helps to attract students to our campus is that we are very much student focused first. And what do I mean by that is that our faculty and our staff are really focused on first teaching. You know, at so many different universities, students will go and they will go there to, sometimes they'll be taught by graduate assistants or other folks, but our faculty are there from day one. Their first focus is teaching. And so with that and with our open door policy, you know, we have other amenities that we offer with the Wellness Center, really focusing on kind of the total person and trying to help our students very much have as much of a balanced kind of perspective as possible. And you see we have some other things there, a sports lounge, and we have a very vibrant campus life. We have lots of activities going on campus. You know, I arrived at Touro over a decade ago. We had 35 student organizations. We've grown to over close to 60 organizations now. So students are very engaged, not only on campus, but then also in the community where they are out there kind of doing a number of things kind of in the service sphere. Okay, so Now kind of talking about like our impact on Southern Nevada and kind of just thinking a little bit about. So as I mentioned, our osteopathic program boasts the largest number of physician graduates of any medical school here in the state. We have a match placement rate that's near 100% each year. I've had that over the last 5 or 6 years. 54 of our graduates this past year had residency here in the state of Nevada, and we've graduated over 3,000 physicians over the last 20 years. So now it is my pleasure. I'm going to transition to my colleague, Tava McGinty Jimenez, who is our Associate Dean of Students and Director of Admissions. And she's going to talk a little bit more kind of about Touro, Nevada. And she's been with Touro for 10 years, so please give her a round of applause. Tava. Oh, yes. And I get to give you this. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for having me or having Touro. We're always excited to work with Diego, of course, and the greater organization. It's been a long journey for us, and we have tried to make the impact in Southern Nevada very meaningful. The reason why Touro, Nevada really exists is because of the critical care shortage in our very own backyard. So what we do here is thinking about the long-term plan of what we have in store. So Dean Tompkins talked a little bit about the DO program and the impact. So I'm going to transition us to some of our other programs and how we've made an impact there. We get most of our students from out of state. And so when we think about having students come from out of state, as far as applicants and those that matriculate, they don't know much about us. And so as Diego had mentioned, you know, it's not just the Strip. They think that's all that's here. Their families are very excited that they got into Touro, Nevada Medical School on the Strip, and they can't wait to visit them and distract them and all those things. And so we try to make sure that they are very much exposed to what's happening here as a local kind of a community. And when our matriculants come in, before they step foot into their first classroom, they are in a day of service during orientation. And during orientation, we make sure that they're immersed in our community. So you'll see a picture there, that's at Opportunity Village. And they are very much engaged throughout the community and making sure that, you know, Touro, Nevada is more than just the Strip. It's Henderson, it's Las Vegas, it's all over, but it's definitely a community of people that have all different backgrounds and walks of life. So the first program I wanted to feature there is the PA program. And you can see, like I said, most of our applicants and matriculants come from out of state. That's the majority. But what we're seeing over the last 5 years is there's some trending happening where more of our locals are actually applying and going into healthcare, and we're happy to see that happen. So for PA, in 2020, it was our second feeder state was Nevada. I think before that was California. California, you know, the number one export is people. And so that's also with applicants for medical school. And so we know we're always going to compete with California, but we want to make sure that our students here going through Clark County School District know what their options are locally. I always get saddened when I hear when we're on the road in Texas or Florida and we have our local students go in and get their undergraduates there, and they finally just heard about Touro because they saw us at a recruitment fair in Florida or Texas. And so they should know about us before they leave here. So that way they can come back here. So for PA, in 2020, Nevada was the second feeder state, 31%. We actually inched up to 38% with this last entering class in 2025. And that program has a seat size of 80. And then for PT, you'll see there on that second line, it was the second feeder state for Nevada at 25%. We have made tremendous progress. It's the first feeder state at 60% now. And then we have the MHS program, which is the Masters of Health Sciences. As Dr. Tompkins mentioned, those are the programs that students take when they're still trying to explore options of healthcare, or maybe they just need a little bit of a competitive edge. Maybe undergrad was a lot of, maybe too much fun. And so they have to make a comeback. And so this program really helps them get that competitive edge and get ready into DO, PA. For our MHS program, we actually encourage our students to apply to not just Touro, Nevada, but for any program, in-state, out-of-state. We just want them to get a good footing with us. But most of our students who graduate from MHS do stick with us. And so we're very proud of that. All right, moving on. So economic impact, again, it's really important that we are contributing locally here. And so for every direct employee at Touro, Nevada, roughly 1.9 jobs are supported through the local community. So that means a lot. From a reoccurring operational standpoint, the university contributes nearly 135 million in economic activity for the local area, and that's annually. And as a result of the university's 33 million in direct spending, one-time economic impact is estimated at to reach 55 million. And so this is our students, faculty, our staff contributing in kind of a real way, just, going out and paying bills, grocery shopping, but also when we think about the fact that we're a private institution and we do not get state funded dollars, it's really important that we're doing a lot to keep the lights on, but also make sure people are thriving. And so that's where you can see that. And that's analysis that we did on our own, I think last year. As Dr. Tompkins had mentioned, we have this wonderful space called the Michael Tang Center for Regional Simulation. In 2024, we received our full accreditation for the accredited simulation center from the Society of Simulation. And we are still the only fully accredited simulation center for graduate education. So that's important for us in that space. It's a comprehensive learning facility where our students and community partners, because it's not just our students accessing that space, but all of those folks are getting that hands-on training. They're going through, those patient encounters where they get to test time and time again through various medical procedures and situations, constantly reenacting those things and getting to be, just rising in their knowledge for that. But it's also about the healthcare team approach. And so they get to exercise that. We want our students to not just be solely focused on their individuality as a profession, but working as a team. It's very much a team, right? You have colleagues across the board, and that's where it starts at Touro, Nevada. Now, in that space, we have expanded from 18,000 square feet to 27,000. So for us, that's amazing. Lots of opportunity for our students and our community partners to grow and train in that area. We have 20 OSCE rooms, pediatric, neonatal, and adult task trainers. 500 total is what we have right now. It's constantly expanding as technology grows. We grow with it. We have about 80 standardized patients that we work with, and they are very much in tune with what they're doing. They're very excited, and they're also excited about the long-term approach to for our middle school students or high school students to gain access. Just yesterday, the director of the simulation center sent me a pamphlet that one of their standardized patients worked on that was just about helping middle school students understand what to do in simulation and how that can translate to the real world. And so for them to take that initiative was amazing to me. That just kind of speaks to my heart. But we also have an ultrasound room. There was a previous slide that had a picture with our students holding up the ultrasound device. So we are excited to have that as a partner too. And we can train up to 76 individuals in that space. We have anatomage tables, so that allows for our students to explore all of the structures and layering of the body. And I always think it's a perfect marrying with our cadaver lab, which we haven't mentioned today, but having both of the kind of the real world, your kind of elbows deep in a cadaver, and then going into the simulation and seeing that technology is amazing. And not every medical school has that, but Touro, Nevada does. But we also have the VR cases, which we are kind of rising in that area. And for the VR, for us, it's about having that kind of realistic, real-time scenarios that our staff can draw on time and time again to help train our students. And there's some of our community partners there, as you see, Southern Nevada Health District, HCA, UNLV's physical therapy, St. Rose residency program, to name a few. All right, so everybody's learning more about Touro. You all certainly learned some things today, hopefully. But if beyond today you want to, hey, I have a cousin who wants to know something about Touro, or my daughter also wants to be a nurse. How can she get more information? This is how you can also get engaged. And so for us, we are a private institution, meaning students can't just kind of sprawl the campus. They can't just show up. But also that makes us a very safe environment. But at the same time, we do want to be welcoming. So we do offer campus tours. Some of you have already been on a campus tour. We have the office of our development office that does campus tours for people. But if you are looking more for the academic side, you have somebody who wants to become an applicant, become a student, then you're probably just going to contact the Office of Admissions. We're happy to welcome them. We offer campus tours on a regular basis, twice a month, virtually as well, because we do have an online tour that we can do. It was funny during COVID, no one thought we could do anything virtually. Now we can do everything virtually. So we have this wonderful campus tour that we're happy to share that way as well. As I mentioned, most of our applicants are from out of state, so this also gives us access to them and for them to see the campus in that way before they can step foot on the campus. We also have information sessions that we offer regularly, and those are program specific. So if you do have someone who's interested in PA, they can just go to an info session. They're online, and those are often offered throughout the cycle. So at any point, someone has an inquiry, we're happy to help them. So if it's middle school, high school, undergraduate, they're out in the profession, working on their direct patient care hours, but they still have questions, we want to make sure they have access. We even have a text service that's 24/7. So if it's 2 o'clock in the morning that they have that wonderful question, that unique burning question, they can text us and they'll get a response. For me personally, coming to Touro, it was important that we have a long-term plan approach. So we do have youth that are engaged in their long-term plan to hopefully become a healthcare provider. Doesn't always have to, again, be at Touro, Nevada, but just having that exposure, which was important to me to be self-reliant and knowing what my plan, what my options were. And so I like to make sure in the Director of Office of Admissions role that we are getting that information to the students directly. They shouldn't have to just visit with a counselor to find out if they are medical school ready. They should already kind of know and have access to that. So for us, we have worked with Diego for many years and with the Green Valley Medical Society at Rancho High School. They've visited campus, but we also welcome middle schools, high schools to do campus tours on their own. We just had Bishop Gorman last week. We were supposed to have Fremont Middle School this week, but things happened, so we're going to reschedule that. But we do a lot of partnerships. So for us, it's very important that we are making sure our locals know about options in healthcare, so hopefully they'll contribute to the care shortage that we have here. Okay, something fun for us. We got a wonderful opportunity to be featured on Amazon Prime, the College Tour. Anybody have heard of the College Tour, the series? The show? No? Well, great. So now all of you have heard about it. So with Amazon featured, you know about Amazon, right? Not just the brown box, but they have shows and episodes and things. But we had this great opportunity to get our students in front of the camera. It's a very student focused to make sure that they're sharing their experiences with what would be one day someone walking in their footsteps and learning about healthcare in general, about our programs, but again, just that student perspective. So we are actually featured in season 12 for Amazon's College Tour. And so I'm going to show just a trailer. Dr. Tompkins and I debated if we want to show the whole video. It's like 30 minutes. Are you guys interested? No? Okay. So we're going to do a 30-second trailer today. And so just to get you a little excited. So if you have people who, like people in your life that are trying to go to an institution and want to learn more, this series is wonderful. It just gives them a really good perspective. But here's Touro's trailer if you want to learn more.
Welcome everyone to Touro University Nevada, home to the first medical school started in Southern Nevada. This private, nonprofit university prides itself on producing the highest quality health professionals to serve the needs of this state and beyond. We're going to hear from 10 extraordinary students sharing their stories on how Touro, Nevada is laser focused on helping them reach their professional goals. Welcome to Touro University Nevada. This is the College Story.
All right. Thank you for the assist there. So that's Touro, our episode, our 5 minutes of fame that I'm going to parlay into the next year. But please visit that or visit campus. And so as we close, we just want to give opportunity. If you are wanting to or feel compelled to get engaged, we are super happy about developing partnerships. Our development office has been doing a phenomenal job in kind of revamping and how we interact and engage with our community. So we welcome you all to do that as well. If you are about giving scholarships, you go to the website, there's a big button that says give. It's real simple. So we always welcome scholarship dollars. Again, being privately a private institution, our applicants and our students are always asking about scholarships, and probably now so more than ever just because of what's happening with funding. So if you are compelled in that way, please give. We have a wonderful gala that we have every year, opportunities to get you in front of, engage with our students. So that's always nice to see kind of how you're impacting a student is when they're rising in professions like you are. And then also clinical site preceptors, we're always looking for people to help increase the knowledge of our students. So consider that option. And if you are, and I don't know if you're all doctors, but we do have all these different academic departments that Dr. Tompkins discussed. And if you are in that field and you want to, have a clinical rotation for PA, just contact the academic department, or DO, you would contact the osteopathic medical school. Research opportunities. We do a lot of wonderful research on our campus. That's pretty exciting space for us, up and coming. We've done some expansion there, but we do have opportunities to be involved, and that is also on our website. There's contact information there too. So as I get to the last slide, I'm going to welcome Dean Tompkins back up here for the Game of Thrones questions. I heard you guys can be kind of intense. But nice, right? Nice, friendly. But we welcome you to come visit campus. There we are off of Auto Show Drive. A lot of people say, oh, that building, yeah, by the car dealerships. Yes, that's us. That's us. But again, as a private, closed campus, just give us a call, give us a ring, give us an email. We're happy to host you on a campus tour. Come visit when you can. So thank you. That's us. Thank you for having us. Yeah. So we'll welcome any questions that you might have. There you go.
Please.
I did hear recently, so this is kind of, I'll just ask, I heard you guys are dissolving your GoT program. So can you walk us through that? If we're trying to get more providers here,
right,
get more students training.
Right. Yeah. So the OT phenomenon is kind of similar to kind of what happened in pharmacy about 10 years ago, where there were a lot of programs that opened up, and there were fewer and fewer students going into the OT profession. And so it became a numbers game a little bit for us, in that we saw so many different programs. We used to be the only OT program in town. Now there's 3. And so with that, it wasn't an easy decision, but we're always looking at that and evaluating kind of what we might do next. And so we may have some news in the future in regards to that, but as we look to kind of expand kind of our healthcare offerings. So the story's not done yet there, but that was the decision that was made last year. Yeah.
So I have a question, and I was very shocked again because I shared a little bit on the residency program and keeping the residents here. You had tremendous success at doing that.
Yes.
Is that a model that was brought in from another state? Is that something that just Touro University Nevada is doing, seeing the need and saying, okay, we need to really hyper-focus on this? Are there specific tools or elements that you guys are implementing that facilitate the ability for you guys to be able to do that?
So I think a lot of our focus is really working with the residency programs here that are locally, really developing partnerships and developing relationships with those programs to kind of get our students known. Our students are obviously doing their clerkships, the second phase of their program, in a lot of the hospitals and doctor's offices and clinics here in the Valley. And so all that leads us to kind of, our students being exposed to these programs. So definitely it's been a focus for us kind of from day one since we opened the doors, and just further trying to expand that.
Follow-up to that, is there a way that we could participate to help increase those numbers or get to that 100%? What can the community do to support you? Because we need those residents and we need those positions to stay. So what can we do, or is there help that we can help?
I mean, I think, so on a global level first, it's, just, continuing to raise awareness around kind of what you talked about when you were doing your opening piece, Diego, as far as, we need, more residencies here in the state in general. I think we have 20-something residency programs here of the different types. There's about 189 different types of residencies you can have. We have about 20-something of those here in Nevada. And so we are in definite need of those. So just kind of raising awareness with our legislatures, raising awareness with different government entities about kind of that need kind of being here. I think the second thing is that, as Tava mentioned a few moments ago, as far as kind of taking our students when it comes to the clinical phase of the program, because they are in the hospitals, they are in the clinics. And so if you're willing to kind of assist in having our students come and learn part of their education in your offices as, for the physicians that are in the room and physician practices that are represented in the room, that also helps with that effort as well. Anything that you'd add?
I was just going to say also mentoring. So sometimes we don't reach 100%, not because of maybe the lack of the students getting help, but they may not have a realistic idea of what they need to go into or what they're kind of training for their skill set. And so they have lots of questions, but they get a lot of information, maybe not always from experts. And so you all are experts in the room. So having that contact and that connection with students helps to give them like, hey, no, this is what is going to be a good, pairing for you. And you should talk to these people and learn more. So that guidance, I think, as again, you all being experts.
Son of the head, yes, please.
I represent 3 organizations that would very much like to be more integrated and collaborative with you.
Okay.
One is Clark County Medical Society.
Yes.
Your students are very engaged with our medical society when we do career fairs.
Yes.
They are there and very much help. I've been involved with your physician assistant program, and that's a distinct asset. But I think that we could collaborate together better at providing mentorship opportunities for your students and you're providing us with more opportunities to expose junior high and high school students to the clinical simulation opportunities, tours, and these kinds of opportunities. The Desert Meadows Area Health Education Center is looking for a representative from Touro on our board.
Okay.
We previously have had that, but we need it again.
Okay.
And so that is a collaboration of all of the academic training programs for health professions in Southern Nevada. And it's a great way to build collaborations for career development and early introduction of junior high and high school students to talking with students who are currently medical students and BA students and all of your career paths, because the youth want to talk with you. They don't
That's right.
want like, oh,
That's
gray-haired
right.
guy like me to be talking with them about these opportunities. So I think that there are many opportunities to leverage our assets together because silos don't work as well as bridged silos. So I think we need to build more bridges. I'd like to get your cards and see whether we can explore visits and to enhance the exposure of our scholars and our ambassadors to the Touro campus opportunities.
Yeah, we would love
I'm
that.
excited.
Yeah, that sounds great. Love to kind of further talk with you about kind of some of those opportunities. Very much, our faculty, our staff, and our students are so willing to kind of be in the kind of the mentorship game and the kind of the bringing folks along. Our students, do a tremendous amount of outreach now, as do our faculty and staff, and so I think that it looks like it could be another great partnership. So definitely looking forward to talking to you more about it.
I have one more question, and that is,
Sure.
in what ways are each of the academic centers, whether at Roseland, UNLV, Touro integrating and coordinating their activities together to optimize college. So Nevada has several career paths. Are you folks talking regularly and collaborating? What's happening in the world of building bridges between silos?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we see that playing out in a couple different ways. So one is that each of the respective professions, if there are like programs here in the Valley, so like the medical schools. I know the medical school leaderships often kind of come together and speak. I know that our deans have talked about that in the past, and so I know those conversations are happening. And I think where you see that kind of translating, and we see that in some of the other professions as well, where you see that translating to is that we have our interprofessional experience days, where we really work to have experiences where our students are working in a team-based environment, because we know healthcare is a team-based sport. And so with that, we actually have some of the, just actually this past week, we had students from Roseman on our campus participating in our interprofessional experience, where they were basically working in groups. So they would have groups of medical students, groups of occupational therapy students, physical therapy students, nursing students, all of kind of our different professions kind of in there, along with, Roseman's pharmacy students and some of their other professions, all working together on kind of looking at cases, looking at scenarios, and kind of how are they going to approach kind of solving those. So that is something that we're trying to think of more creative ways as time goes on, as we see kind of the educational healthcare community continue to expand in the Valley. But I think it's something we're definitely interested in.
And I'll just add, our students get together too with their students, and so
Yeah.
we'll see them do a lot
Absolutely.
of community activities together, and it's just fun for them to communicate directly with each other, trying to solve the local problems and issues and making an impact together.
Yeah, because as the dean of students, they'll oftentimes students will be like, well, they're doing X, Y, and Z over at X school. What do you think, Dean Tompkins? I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Let's see if we can figure out a way to kind of work together and either make that happen on our campus or kind of bring it together kind of more synergistically. Yeah. Yes.
To Taba's point, I don't really have a question, more so a personal ask. I run our resident wellness program at Yale that Diego mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So, obviously we've worked with you guys for quite some time, but I don't think we've actually ever had any of your residents out at our wellness nights.
Okay.
So I would love an introduction to any of your program directors so we can have the conversation about what this looks like. When we ever talk to any other program director, it's always, what's the catch? What's in it for you is really nothing. It's one of our 3 key pillars.
Yeah.
So we'd just love a little bit more engagement, be able to build upon our community that way. So, warm introduction.
Sounds great. Yeah, definitely can try to connect you with some of the folks locally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Diego. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, right? It was
At least
too
one
clear.
person leave
It was
first.
too clear. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. To close us out very briefly, I do want to recognize some of the people that are here in the room. I wanted to recognize Councilman Jim Seebach that has joined us. And we also have a candidate that's running as well. I always find it very important because one of the things I hear from politicians is, well, healthcare never shows up. And when they do, they're just yelling at us about stuff that's wrong. And so I really want to thank you guys for taking the time to be able to come and share with us, to be able to speak and give you a brief 30-second or 45-second if you have. I know Luke is running. I want to offer him some time. I don't know if you wanted to say anything, Councilman Seebach, about the needs of Henderson.
So just real quick, thank you for all you do. I'm here because obviously Touro is one of our partners in our community. But more importantly, everything I see from all the different economic forecasts, everything is healthcare is going to be the growing field in Southern Nevada over the next 10 years. And so I just look at it from a policy standpoint, from a city connection standpoint. How can we embrace it? How can we support it? We meet with the high schools, but you gave you a whole bunch of ideas on how we need to be meeting with our higher education, providing those opportunities. So that is why I'm here today. So I'm here to support you and all of you on the medical field as we move forward. So thank you so much for the 30 seconds.
Thank you very much.
My name is Luke McCarthy. I'm running for Las Vegas City Council. I want to thank Jim for coming. He's out of his district, in this district where I'm running right now. He's a cop, I'm a firefighter, you're gonna hear banter back and forth. Constantly till the day we die. Phenomenal. The city council in Henderson is really committed to this issue, I know. And the city of Las Vegas, and Shelley's endorsement, used to be your CEO. That's right. The hospital district, in Jim's right. I hear about this all the time, and in different places. I want to thank Big Ryan Hampton's here, and the governor's office is here, because I know we've talked about these things as well. If you don't know Ryan, I love him to death because I got better hair than him. I always like meeting Ryan. I'm teasing, but we got great paramedics and everybody, and thank you so much for just being here.
Thank you very much. So very briefly, make sure to keep an eye out. We're going to have our sponsorship packages. If you would like more information, or if you say, hey, we're really interested in sponsoring, there are many different levels of sponsorship for our Gears for Good. That will be January 24th. You could speak to Colton. He's been going crazy, trying to put everything together and looking at the different packages and how we can really maximize this for our sponsors and for our community as well. The last thing that I have is for the magazine. Make sure you take one. Leave it in your office. This is our distribution method. We are leaning on you guys. So we always tell people, well, we do print some copies. And lastly, there is a section called From Struggles to Strength that Adriana has launched. Adriana works extremely hard on this magazine. And if not, volunteer to write an article and see how much she follows up with you. Do you have the article? The deadline's coming up. Hey, I'd love to get that information. But Adriana does a wonderful job at that. Help her out. If you have somebody within your organization that has a good story, she is really trying to focus on telling that story of how people find strength through struggle, how we're able to rise up. And you know, that's what we're doing with healthcare, right? We're 48th in the nation, but let's change that, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, right? So thank you very much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. We'll look forward. December 18th is the date that we have for the next Game of Thrones. So if you want to mark it in your calendar, for those that are here, December 18th will be our final one. And we'll have some exciting guests. I'll announce that, so check your emails. Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Have a phenomenal day.